In this example, we're asked to do two things. We're asked to graph a line given a point and its slope, and a little bit later we'll be asked to write the point-slope form for the equation of this line. So you've probably started to experiment some with this graph tool that MyMathLab has, and here's your place that you can click to enlarge that graph. And if you follow these instructions, usually up here at the top of your screen, it should kind of walk you through how to use this graphing tool. And I do want to first start by selecting the correct type of graph that I'm using here, which is the line graph. Notice that you do have other options for different types of graphs that you may need in later assignments, or even later in this assignment. So we'll start by first plotting the point. The point kind of pins the line to the graph, or to the grid, you could say. So we're going to plot this point 1, 2. If you'll notice up here in the upper right corner of my screen, it'll say the point is 1, 2. Okay, so I'll click to plot that point. Next, I want to move with the slope, and my slope is said to be -4/3. Slope is rise over run, so rise -4 means I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and I run to the right 1, 2, 3, plot the point, and at that point, no pun intended, I have a line. So I'm going to click save and check that. So the last part of this problem is to write this equation in its point-slope form. So I'm going to switch to a different screen just to explain that. So I just brought over this screenshot of just that part of the problem with the point and with the slope that we have for this particular problem. Down here at the bottom, I have what is the point-slope form. What we need is a point, an x1, y1, x and y coordinate, and we need a slope m, and we then write it in this form. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So you'll notice the x and the y here are not part of any of the given information. Instead, they are the variables that create the line. So they are all the points that meet that condition on that line. So you will leave them as x and y variables for the purpose of writing this equation. So next, I'm going to identify from what I have given, what can I substitute here into my point-slope form. Obviously, I have slope. That one's a pretty straightforward one, right? It's going to come over here. Here is x1. Here is y1. So x1 being the value 1, y1 being the value 2. And I can just start to substitute these things in here. I have y minus 2 equals the slope, -4/3, times x minus 1. Now, notice one more thing. It says here at the bottom, sometimes you see these instructions. It may be about rounding. It may be about the way your answer has to be put into the answer box, like what type of answer. So we see a couple of things here. First of all, do not simplify. In other words, don't multiply anything out. Don't add anything together. You're going to leave it in this form. Type your answer in the point-slope form. So you want it to look just like this when you type it into the answer box, and you'll have that correct.